Ready, mate?
Yep.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Celtic Unrestricted View podcast. My name is Ryan Clifford, and it's a Monday View. Obviously, joining me in this episode is JP. Again, fantastic result for Saturday. Now Monday, obviously, a few days to reflect, and obviously other results in Scotland have now happened. So it's kind of reflective mode, I would say. Obviously, for the results that are happened, and obviously our game and Giakoumakis started again. A lot of good positive performances from certain players. I don't know if any fans will agree, mate, and yourself, but I generally believe that it was 4-0 going on 15-0. We didn't really get a second gear again. We're starting to just tick at the right time, and obviously David Turnbull came back as well. Didn't really get involved in the game. I think he was just there to get some minutes involved and get back in the fold. But absolutely fantastic result, and I just wish it was more because it was a game fitting for more goals.
Good evening, mate. It certainly was, mate. Another positive performance and result for the Hoops. We'll just continued on from where we were on Monday night, mate, to be honest. Same again, you're talking like you're taking a game away from teams at half time. Everybody, your man, knows their roles now. You can see it. They're all comfortable. The camaraderie with the team is frightening. It's on a different level. They all look as if they're actually, I've said it before, mate, we've spoken about this. They're all coming to the fortnight because it's now the business end of the season. I think the good thing as well, Ryan, is they've not got the distraction of European football anymore. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a big plus for us in terms of we can actually now try and put our foot to the throttle, fit to the flare, and make a right good go at try to a domestic coup, which would be absolutely, I mean, obviously, I don't want to say that's what's going to happen. For 1 minute, that's not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is we've got a right good chance of doing a bit of damage. But for that, if that was to materialise, say, what we this time a year ago to now, would be absolutely unthinkable. And to do that with a brand new team and gel them all so quickly, and as I say, you've brought in some right good quality via the two windows. You said yourself there, another big bonus for the team will be Turnbull coming back. He offers really good options, mate. He's a big goal threat. He's good at set pieces. So, it's all positive, mate. Even your man, your all-time favourite, Greg Taylor, I thought he was outstanding at the weekend, mate. Him and Juranovic played the game with flip-flops on, man. The two of them were absolutely unbelievable. And again, you can see they're starting to become more comfortable now with, that inverted role and coming in and helping out the midfield and giving us that extra man when we're on the press. So, it's all good, mate.
And obviously, could probably start on big Giakoumakis, mate. I know he got a wee bit of stick after the penalty that he missed, and he was stop-start, but for me, the guy's been superb. I think basically every goal's been one-touch finishes. It's just, he's a typical striker that Celtic have had, where it's always in the box. And we're not saying he's Henrik Larsson, we're not saying he's anything like Larsson, but I think he's got a faster goal rate as it stands at the moment than Larsson did. Mm-hmm. I actually seen Chris Commons right about today. He basically says as well that he's got the how do you call it? Not the makings of Larsson's, but it shadows in the way he plays. That he's always in the box. He's the man that's always in the box for these chances, and his movement's brilliant and all. And it's not just that. He's a big guy. He gives you. He's not just a target man. He can link up the play. He can run the channels. He can hold it up. He can flick it on. He's everywhere, and it's not just. It's his work rate as well. Him and Maeda and Jota, the three of them track back like fucking Saturday, and that's what I like. Mm. What really impressed me about not just Giakoumakis, mate, the full team. I know it's further into the game, but 5-10 minutes to go, mate, and we're still fucking running, probing, chasing, and you're 4-0 up. Most teams, when they're 4-0 up, just play possession, keep the ball. If you get a wee chance, we'll try and get a goal. But we're relentless, mate. We're going to the 93rd, 94th, 90 whatever minute. It's getting 97 minutes these days, where there's subs and everything else that happens in games. It's just been, we're relentless at the moment, and I'm kind of hoping that this international break doesn't stop that, because it's came at the right time for us. After the performance on Monday, performance again, obviously, on Saturday, you're starting to get guys fit again. People are all ticking. You're hoping guys will go away to international duty to pick up wee strains or whatever else. I know Maeda's pulled out now, but assuming it's to give him a rest. That's what I'm assuming, because he's obviously fucked because he's played so much. But Giakoumakis, mate, I just can't. I don't know what you think, right? Obviously, Kyogo's still to come back. There's maybe going to be a bounce game, maybe for him to get minutes before the Rangers game. We've got the opportunity and the luxury, I would say, that he can fit these two guys in the team. We've got two guys who you can depend on, rely on. If Kyogo's injured, you've got Giakoumakis. Maeda is a striker, but when he seems that he likes him putting him to the left because he can do that donkey work. I'm happy I'm going to manage him, mate, because I really don't know what you would do. But for me, I know fans are going to be calling, let's be fair, Kyogo's kind of the new hero to Celtic fans, so they're going to be calling for him to come in, because Ange has done it with other injured players. He's played them right away, or he's played them in the second game they're back, so that wouldn't be an issue, I don't think. But for me, you can't have a big man. I think he'll start against Rangers when we're back, but he's flying, and I think if he was to get dropped, I think it would be a bit of a signal for him. I think it would be, because you can't go and score 2 hat-tricks within the space of time, and then obviously you can get dropped, but as a fan perspective and a football perspective, if I was to dropped and Kyogo played back in, you'd be thinking to yourself, what chance have I got here? Because he's flying at the moment, and for me, he's got to play at Ibrox, in my opinion.
Definitely, mate. He scored 8 goals in 4 games, I think it has been. 2 hat-tricks and then a brace on Monday night against Dundee United. So, it's 2 games back-to-back at Celtic Park. He scored hat-tricks. I've racked my brain, mate, and the only person I can think of who's possibly did that is Henrik, if that is the case. But I cannot remember for the life of me if he did do it or not. I listened to, unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend the game at the weekend, so when I was watching it on Celtic TV, I heard Tom Boyd in commentary saying that he didn't even remember if Larsson had done it, and he was a teammate of Henrik's. So if Tom's doesn't remember, I don't know what chance I've got, to be honest, because I was only a wee boy at that time. Well, for a bit of it anyway. But Giakoumakis is outstanding now. We called it for more or less one of the first or second times we've seen him, mate. People were calling for his seed. Frank McAvenny was saying that he told in good authority that he was going to be shipped out. He was only in the door about 3 weeks or something. And I watched a recent thing with Frank on it, and he actually tried to retract a wee bit and got slagged for it. So, don't change your tune now. I don't like to hear, see ex-pros and pundits now that, used to play with us and stuff. You need to be careful, I think, with what you're saying, because a lot of it, you've got to remember, a lot of it's coming back to bite you right in the backside. Big Alan Brazil's a great example of that when he spoke about Ange. And right away, he just totally wrote him off. He just thought he'd be a great manager, as if, right, whatever. But no, the big fella's quality now. He's absolute quality. I think he's getting better by game. I think now he's starting to get to know the teammates. He's starting to get to know, like, Jota's runs, and he's starting to know where to position himself now, because he knows when it's coming, what way it's coming in. And I think him and Maeda complement one another very well in terms of movement. If you look at that first goal, Maeda drags two of them away with him, Ryan, when he runs across the 6-yard box, diagonally. But the height the big man got up for that first goal was just unbelievable. That's the highest I think I've ever seen him jump. And not only that, Ryan, see when he puts his body into people and he gets in about it, I think it spurs the team on.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that sort of sets the tone in terms of, right, let's get in about this. He done it at Tynecastle. He hit a couple of them. You know, he put his body into big hill kit and big shooter. And then he ragdolled the Chuckle brothers at Parkhead. I know he told him a million. With his movement, his strength. They didn't know what to do. And Big Shirley, many times he fought on his backside at Parkhead. You're just leaning into him. And I think that photo that's been well put on social media now, he's a big tank. He's sheer muscle. When he scored his hat-trick against, was it Dundee? Aye.
Yes, it was, mate, yeah.
Aye. He takes his top off.
Mm-hmm.
He's just shredded. He's just a big unit. I certainly wouldn't argue with him. Put it that way, he's a big lad and he looks as if he can handle himself. I think a lot of Celtic fans were worried when Juranovic gave him a penalty, and I thought that was a great gesture for Juranovic himself personally. They talk about a guy who's no missed any penalties that he's taken for Celtic yet, but yeah, he knew the big fella was on a hat-trick, so he's like, on you go, big man. And certainly my dad, speaking to my dad, there was a couple of people running about my dad at the game. They were quite apprehensive when it was Giakoumakis that was stepping up to the penalty. And I think people are right away again, they're judging him on what he done against Livingston with that penalty. So, but I thought he was, for then to know, you can see a totally different player, full of confidence. And I think all his goals are all one-touch finishes, right? I'm not sure any other centre forward that's many goals he's actually scored, about 12 or 13 goals on. About
that, mate. Aye, he's done well.
Aye, he's kind of starting to climb the goal charts now as well. And as I say, the more he sells, the better he'll become there. He's got his share of call-up to Gus Poyet's Greece team.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see obviously how that plays out, if the big man plays him or not. But I know Big Poyet speaks very highly of him, and so it'll be good to see him getting game time for Greece. I know Big Samaras done well for Greece whenever he was playing for Celtic as well. Mm-hmm. And that comes with confidence, right? That comes with having good players run about you and believing in yourself. I know he's no longer became a dad, as far as I'm led to believe as well. So I can understand maybe at the beginning, maybe he had other things on his mind and, you know, it was affecting him settling. People are saying, oh, he's trying too hard. There's some people running about me were saying, oh, he's not going to, he's going to another Bio or Klamala, and I knew right away we looking at him, and I could see you screwing your face up there, mate. I knew right away we looking at him that wasn't going to be the case. You could just tell there was something different about him, right? He gives the team something different.
See, the thing for me, I think some fans, again, I'm only talking for what I see on social media and what I see about the game and stuff, and so guys don't do research when we sign players. They just sign them and go 2 or 3 bad games or 2 or 3 games, they're not up to it. He's shite. Guys need to realise when you sign for a big club at Celtic, some guys come in, hit, go boom, and hit the gun run and they do it right away. Some guys, it might take 3 months, 4 months. At Celtic, it's hard to understand that, and you want guys to come in right away and be superb. But like Giakoumakis, just took him half a year at least to get fully fit, get settled, and look up now, he's flying. He's absolutely flying. I don't think we'll get the best of him, mate, until next season. When he gets a full pre-season under Ange, fully fit, no injuries, he's settled in Glasgow now. I think he's signed a 4-year deal as well, so he's here for a long term.
Yeah.
If you've got, for just my opinion, mate, right, if Kyogo and Giakoumakis are going to be your 2 strikers going forward, then I can't see anything but success, mate. I know people might say, he's doing well now, will he do well in the longer term? He's only going to get better in the fucking longer term.
Yeah.
He's so strong. Like he says, he's strong. He does. It's what we've not had, from, like we've said before, mate, since Felix and Hesselink. I know Dembele's a wee bit like it, but I've known that guy that hods the ball up. He's always looking for the ball. He's always in the box. That's the thing I liked about, like we spoke about, when you've got Jota on the park or Abada, you need him in the box.
Yeah.
One of the goals, Jota, cross, Giakoumakis, there you go. And that's what you've no got in a way with Kyogo. Kyogo will score, he does, but he's not going to be sitting at the back post waiting for the high ball up the park.
Yeah.
Giakoumakis is in there because he knows where to be, because that's his game. Something like Maieda's not going to be like that, but you've got if you want to include Ajeti in it, but you've got three or four different strikers that can do all different jobs. And I know people might not really include Ajeti in, but for me, Ajeti's still part of the squad. I think Ajeti, if he's going to get a chance, I think he'll still do a job for us. So you've got four strikers going up to the end of this year. So probably some fans might say don't trust Ajeti, right? But when it comes to Maeda, Kyogo and Giakoumakis, mate, every one of them can do the job for you, no bother, and they make qualms about who plays.
No, definitely, mate. If I'm at the stage now, Ryan, where it doesn't matter what team man's puts out, I've got every confidence in what to do, and I'm not moaning about things that, how's she not playing, or how's she not playing, or I mean, even she done Saturday's lineup. Like, the guy's moaning about how Turnbull wasn't starting and how he was on the bench.
She just came back 4 or 5 months out.
I know, you're like, he's not robotic, man. He's not just that's him. He's not a Terminator. He's not been sent for December back to now to then go, right, he's ready to play right away. Like, come on, it's not as if he's quantum leaped for another part of the universe to be able to be match fit enough to be able to start playing games for us all of a sudden. So I think people just need to settle down a wee bit. I think, and as I say, but I've always said it, Ryan, a lot of the Celtic fans are, I don't know, a lot of them just like to moan, mate, for the sake of having a wee moan about something because it keeps them ticking ill that way. I don't know. Others just, I don't know. They just jump on a gravy train when they see somebody. Oh, that sounds good. I'm just going to go with that and I'll write about that and on and say this and say that. Instead of actually thinking for themselves before spouting nonsense. But moving forward with the team, I would agree with you, mate, that the chemistry in the front three is just frightening. Doesn't matter what one who has it played. When he took off, don't forget, I mean, I think Anne's done it a wee bit tongue-in-cheek with him on Saturday as well. He took Juranovic and Jota off and he brought on Abada and Ralston. And then he took McGregor and Hatate off. Obviously, he was forced into the substitution with Rogic, right? So he had to bring O'Reilly on. But you're bringing on Beaton and then Turnbull. For me, Ryan, it showed he just flexed the muscles on Saturday to show the depth that we've now got in the squad.
Massive strength and depth.
Aye. And when Kyogo's fit and ready, you could potentially, with these 5 substitutes, I know, Ryan, you're potentially freshening up the whole team. But you could go for 50, 60 minutes and then bring on 5 players. That's like nearly half the team. Do you know what I mean? To freshen the whole thing up again. So, I heard a couple of pundits talk about it the other day. If teams are struggling with us, see when we're at full strength and we're ready to go and then we've got the 5 substitutes as well, they're in for a fucking long ass year. If that team's starting to struggle with us now, then they're in for a long time, mate, because, like I say, a lot of the new boys, mate, are all on long-term deals, so they're not going to, a lot of them will not be going anywhere very fast. And if we won that league, mate, we're right into that Champions League next season.
Well, see, when you say that, obviously, Livingston for me was a cakewalk. It was 3-1 going on 7 or 8 again. We missed so many chances. Dun United, just about a cakewalk. Ross County was a cakewalk. You don't, like we say, it's very hard to win football games. That's what people don't realise. People who play football have not played football. Football is an easy game when you stop and think about it, but football is hard to win games of football. But we're doing it with ease now. No team's getting near us. I know we did maybe 2 or 3 weeks there recently where we weren't really playing well, but we were still getting results. But it was very no alarming. It was just what's happened to us. But you've got to realise, we all know, mate. You know yourself that football, you don't always have the same game every week. It's the same as, I was actually talking to Robert all day about it. We were talking about the Dundee game, Rangers. Rangers won the game easily last week, 2 weeks ago. It's never going to be the same game next week against the same team. It's never the same game. It might be maybe 6-0 one week, but then it's maybe 2-1 the next week or whatever. It's never the same game. For me, you're no wanting to, you've no divine right, as I said in the last podcast, you've no divine right to win any football game, but you're just, even on Saturday, the sun was shining, full crowd, you're thinking, this is going to be like 3 or 4-0 game a day. That's just the atmosphere that's building, and you're seeing the team sheet, like you say, you see the squad, the bench, like you say, guys that beat on the bench, experience can want to, you see, I know the game is done, but you bring him on to see the game out, Tumble to see the game out, Abada just to freshen it up. It's just, you've got that luxury now of bringing guys on basically for a piss take, just to say Ross County in the league. Listen, this is we've got at our disposal. It's superb.
No. I actually says to my dad, would it not be cheeky if we just brought Barkas on?
mate, see him at the game warming up. He was obviously the third choice goalkeeper in the squad. It just, the guy's obviously pissed off and sick. He's just in the goals and he's just like, I'll try and get that one. I'm like, come on, big man, at least make it always a try. Do you know what I mean?
So what you're saying is he's just doing his usual then?
He's just basically no catching the ball, mate. Aye. But Barkas, you want to come on, mate? I do respect you.
Aye. We do respect you, mate. You're just not a goalie, mate. Sorry. No, but I thought I says that to my dad. I said it would have been really cheeky if he brought on Scott Bain or Barkas as one of the subs. Just to, I mean, that's the kind of thing I would do. See when your team's doing well, and just to stir in the pot a wee bit as well, to go, right, look, we're running amok here. Do you know what I mean? And you said it there, Ryan, nobody's getting near us.
No.
And we're at a stage of the season where you would think teams are, now, I don't know if other teams are starting to tire or they're starting to, because a lot of the other squad, I mean, don't get me wrong, Ross County, you look at Dundee yesterday in Ross County, their subs aren't the same as their first team, so they've not got the squad that we've got. They can't pull a tatty off and bring Turnbull on or pull, well, they can't pull them off anyway because they play for Celtic and they don't, so, but what I mean is they can't pull guys like that off the park.
And they play some of the same quality.
Aye. So I mean, they're bringing off guys like Niall McGinn and bringing on guys like, I don't know, Effie Ambrose, and you're laughing at, but that's what I mean. It's a totally different thing altogether. And again, I'm not being disrespectful there. But the golfing quality throughout the whole league to us is night and day, totally night and day. And the performances, the level you're playing at, the tempo you're playing at, as you said yourself, mate. I think I put a video on a day, and it was Maeda. 87 minutes, mate, and he's still shutting defenders down. He's sprinting at goalies. So that's when I saw that this morning about him, mate, regarding his, fitness and conditioning purposes. I thought, he's no unfit, because he's like an elite athlete, you know what I mean? And he played 90 minutes on Saturday and he's no injured. So it must be, but a guy on Twitter I seen earlier on as well, Japan have already qualified.
Right.
So it's no a biggie for him to miss these games. So, obviously, I think Hatate's still there. But the one I have seen, and I've definitely not seen his name, is Rogic. So, Celtic put out today all the international players who are away. And Rogic wasn't part of the list.
All right.
Now, I don't know whether that means he's injured, which is going to be a badging, I think. In terms of first hand's obviously saying it wasn't as bad as they thought, and then they also did that with, was it Kyogo? And Kyogo's been out since December. So I don't know regarding Rogic, but Celtic put a list. It was a day I seen it earlier on Twitter. Celtic put out a list of players away who's now away with her, and obviously the names of their countries underneath. And Rogic wasn't on the list. So somebody then put on, was that a hidden thing for Celtic to more or less tell us that Rogic is injured? So I'm not too sure there. But even at that time, like I says to my dad the other day, I don't think we've missed Kyogo. In terms, because you've got Maeda and Giakoumakis who have been scoring goals. And then if they're not scoring goals, Abada's scored goals. If he's not scoring goals, Hatate's scored goals. If he's not scoring goals, there's Jota scored goals. So the goals have came, and McGregor's chipped in a couple here and there. And then you've had a couple for Big Vickers. You've had Juranovic for a couple of penalties. You've had Greg Taylor. By the way, Greg Taylor's been in a couple of great positions the last couple of games, and he was unlucky with one at the weekend. When he was through the goalie.
We're not relying on one player.
No. There's so many options, and Ange seems to like everybody in the team being involved with the passage of play. But it's wee passages, Ryan, I'm going to touch on here, that the manipulation that they put in it. Like, there was one at the weekend, I don't know if you remember it, mate. Well, you probably will. It's Maeda, starts with him. And it's a passage of play, and it's a triangle between him, O'Reilly, and Hatate. But there's a couple of wee back heel flicks for Maeda, like one-touch football. And it's just frightening to watch, mate. Like, most county are standing and looking at one another as if to say, we just don't have an answer for us. You could just see their soul being ripped out of them, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe that fear of God now starting to come back in at Celtic Park in terms of, I hope teams are coming now, mate, and they're probably looking at each other, and before the game, their manager's probably saying, we'll be doing well here if we keep us down to 2.
Aye, just try and get a draw.
Aye, just try and not get spanked here, know what I mean? And that's gone for again for last season to now, mate. That's totally miraculous considering where we were to where we are now. And I keep patting home about it, mate. We're still a brand new team that's been flung together there 2 transfer windows. You've got to remember that. It's key. This is key. So the minute MD tries to put us down, or anybody's having a go at, you know, the other mob, we're still in Europe, who'd you getting the draw, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. We're a brand new team. You're 4 odd year into your cycle with the nucleus of that squad you've got. 1 or 2, okay, come in at the week, come in the summer, come in January or whatever it was. But like I say, the nucleus of that team, mate, have all been together now for like 4 years, maybe more. Definitely with Tavernier and Morelos. They've been with him now for
they've been there since he signed, basically, since that squad's kind of started.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even him. Like I says, it wasn't even Gerrard that signed Morelos. It was the manager before that.
Caixinha, wasn't it?
Caixinha, aye. So, and Tavernier's been there for the Magic Hat, was there?
Robertson.
Aye. Because Tavernier remembers all the fans turning up with loaf packs on their heads and remember the good days, man?
Oh, aye. Don't worry, mate. I think when he sounds it, he'll be back soon.
Aye. We all delayed him always in every GP surgery going, man.
Aye, mate. For me, it's getting impressive now. Guys are turning up every week now and they're starting to put a performance in. Like you say about passages of play, mate, there was some, especially in the first half, some of the one-touch play, the 1-2s, it's all... as a Ross County player, you know what they're going to do, but you still can't you still can't get it. It's similar to where, like I always say, see when we play teams like Bayern Munich, Barcelona, whatever, all these top teams when they play in Europe, we think Celtic are good, and you play against these guys and you're going, fuck's sake, that's a very average, man. Similar in our league, when it's Celtic playing Ross County, you're like, fucking hell, we're good here, and Ross County are just very average. And it's that way they can't get near us. Again, I thought defensively we were solid, didn't really have anything really at our goals. But I just, obviously the talking point is going to be the red card. Football these days, see 30 years ago, that's probably acceptable. Guys would get up and get on with it, and it'd have been maybe a yellow card probably years ago. But see now, if you do a tackle like that, it doesn't matter if your studs are up, your studs are down. If you're going with a bit of force, it's getting the referee a decision to make. Again, I'm trying to be as balanced as I can. It probably was a red card. 30 years ago, probably no, because football's changed now because it's just about going by non-contact sport. But it was a bad tackle. There was a few wee flag digs going in the game. Again, I didn't listen to, obviously I was at the game myself, so I didn't listen to commentary, but I heard people after the game saying Tom Boyd was saying the referee better get this game under control or something's going to happen. And he was right. The tackle for Rogic and half injured, obviously O'Reilly came on, if we done well when he came on. Really like him, mate. Really like him. He's very tidy on the ball. He's a big lumpy guy as well. Good delivery technique. But obviously the referee's a top point of the weekend, mate, and obviously that red card kind of started it.
Aye, no, definitely, mate. And when is the referees no a talking point, mate? Do you know what I mean? It's the same old, and that's the total. I really don't know what else I can say about them, mate. I really don't. They're not good enough. It's that simple. They're just not good enough. And again, mate, you've just got to relate it to the World Cup. None of them have been picked to go. So it just shows you where they are in the estimations of the governing body, whoever it is that runs, or the referee officials. It's absolutely scary how bad they are, to be honest. Ramsey, for me, 6 minutes prior to that, mate, he takes my header right out of the equation and all. We are right, more or less like that. He wraps himself around my header like an anaconda and more or less drags him to the flare like a UFC fighter. Waist high. And there was nothing done. He was not even spoken to him, nothing. The ref just play on. And me, my head, I'd give him his due, just get up and going, mate. And then, by that point, his team were doing 3-0. So he's totally frustrated. The boys, and people are saying I won the ball. So would I have ever slid for 50 yards and smacked somebody and then continued through him because his momentum just took him right through Rogic. But the sheer frustration alone and stupidity, he deserved to be sent off. Just for his stupidness. First of all, he didn't have to make the challenge. Rogic wasn't going anywhere. So you've got to look at that aspect as well. He wasn't going anywhere. And I'll be honest with you, mate, that's the first thing I think I've ever seen Don Robertson get right in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
No.
Sending him off. You said you're going to be balanced. You can't be balanced apart from tell the truth. And that, what I'm saying is, to me, is the truth.
But it's not just that. It seems to be happening quite regularly where Celtic players get kicked a few times and then it's a booting, and then it's a foul. Then it's always a play on or it's a wee talk. But it takes 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 tackles. Like we've said before, you don't want to talk about the past, but the game that always stands in mind was the game at Ibrox where they lost his elbow, kicking the lot, and he went back to the panel, and even they says, nah, it's fine. That's what you're up against, mate. And this isn't just a... Is that
the one he stood in Ralston's back?
Yes. And then there was elbows and everything else. That's what I keep saying, but this isn't a Celtic Rangers thing. This is a full thing in the league. It's not just a Celtic Rangers thing.
No.
But the referees, I know we're winning the game. We've had a penalty. we should have had another penalty with a handball in the box. That how he's not gave that when he's standing 5 yards. The one with Jota hits the ball, coaches the ball.
That one with the boy Humbo turned into Jota. What a goalkeeper he is, by the way. Did you see that save?
Was some save. But Jota's close the ball. It's hit off the guy's horn. Clear as mud. I'm sitting at the other end of the stadium and I seen it. The full crowd's shouting for it. And he says, play on. What is this handball rule? I thought basically as soon as it has your horn now in that direction, it's a handball. Your horn's up to stop a cross.
It's a bad day on Saturday night, mate, when Stevie Wonder was the first caller on the Super Scoreboard telling him he's seen that handball.
Oh, mental. Honestly.
And the refs, there's about 3 or 4 officials at the game, mate, and then none of them seen it.
That's for me, it's a scary thing, mate, that you've got different eyes on the game and they still can't get it right. It's
unbelievable.
It's even when you're winning the games, mate, and you're still not getting decisions when you're winning the games. That's when you're going to think, so what if you're losing the game? Are you going to get them? Again,
am I right in thinking, Ryan? Am I right in thinking? I know that Don Robertson was a referee with one of the Celtic games a couple of weeks ago, where we were totally belted about all over the place. Was he not a ref for the Alloa game in Gucci's challenge?
I think he was, mate. I think he was, because I see somebody on Twitter. I'm sure he was, because somebody put on Twitter because Celtic, Ange and Celtic called him out after it about the tackle.
Ange never said anything about him directly. He just said he would be looking for a wee bit more protection in terms of.
I'm sure it was him, mate. Sure, it
tackles
was
flying in. Then I think it was. And no wonder, I vaguely now remember, just as you said that, Ryan, I vaguely, because the Tom Boyd thing came back into my head there, about Tom saying, hopefully he gets a hold of this now and doesn't do what he done the last time. And that, I can understand now why that was said. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. But it's happening every week, mate. It's not just, I mean, look at Monday night. With a perfectly good goal chopped off for nothing. These guys were on a video a couple of days ago that was put out with SFA on social media, sitting in a big. I think Mark Wilson was part of the course as well, because I seen a wee bit of that at the weekend as well on I think it was Sky. I don't even know what it was part of. I was flicking through my channels and it was on. And Mark Wilson was sitting in the course. They're in a big, it looks like they're in a big lecture room. And it's the VAR course. They're not sitting there learning this course. It was John Beaton, Wally Collum, Mark Wilson. Who else? Mark Wilson, the former Celtic player. And there was another guy, I can't mind who it was. Another ex-pro. I can't mind who it was now. Don't think he played with Celtic. I think he was maybe Aberdeen or something like that. Or, I can't even remember who it was. Wasn't it Barry Robson? It wasn't him, but it was somebody like that. It was somebody that went to Aberdeen, or it wasn't a Celtic player. And they're learning VAR. I am deeply worried. These are the same guns who just can't get they can't get day-to-day decisions like right now. With the technology. Because what my fear is, Ryan, it's not a referee who's on the pitch. Who's the guy that's going to be behind the monitor? It's going to need to be one of these guys. They're the officials. Unless you're bringing in, I don't know, you're bringing in people from outside, or like I say, I don't know how it's going to work, but I kind of fear a wee bit on it as well. As much as I'm saying, right, I'm all for VAR, blah, 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 if it's used properly. But, like say, I mean, we've seen penalties good this season, Ryan. It's embarrassing.
See, when you're talking about it, the one that was embarrassing for me recently was the one Newcastle didn't get at Stamford Bridge. That was ridiculous. I don't know if you've seen that. How VAR did not give that.
I
It
know.
was clear as mud. As I was watching the game, it was clear as mud, and VAR didn't negate, mate. So I'm like you. I'm for VAR if it's used properly and it's used quickly and it's used to affect the game. It's none of this scoring a goal and you need to wait half an hour and all that carry on. I'm like you, mate. If it's not going to be used properly and used to the letter of the law, it's that that doesn't take a computer scene or a TV to tell you that that's a fucking penalty. That's a penalty that Newcastle didn't get, and even Newcastle's Twitter well had a wee emoji basically saying like, how's that not a penalty? So what's it going to be like up here? If it's even teams doing there are struggling to get penalties with a computer and all these eyes and cameras on the park, what's it going to be like up here? I'm a you, mate. I'm for it, but if it's not done properly, I'd rather just not have it at all.
No, definitely. Obviously, it's been voted that it'll win next season, as we're hearing. So, no, it needs to be used right. And I'm not talking about like, we'll give us to that, we'll give us to that, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll blah blah blah. It needs to be used properly, and there needs to be clarity for all the teams, not just because there's been decisions this season even for all like, smaller teams, right? And you're like, what are you doing, man? Like the ref, you're just like, what are you doing? Like these fools are stealing a wage, man. You know what I mean?
See the thing for me is, mate, right? I don't know if all these guys have actually played football, right? I don't know the backgrounds of all these guys, right? So I don't know if they've all played football. Surely, obviously, I'm not saying you have to have a footballing background, but surely if you played the game, you're a referee, you know what is excessive force and what isn't. Surely you should know that by not just by a rule book, just with your own common knowledge of a game. Surely you should know that. It's just even without having a background in football knowledge, surely you should be able to tell what should be a foul and what's no. It's just wee simple things. Like, see the thing it does man nothing now, mate, right? Football players now, they back in or whatever, they get a touch and they fall. It's a free kick. And it fucking frustrates me, man. I'm like, just because he's touchy, that's what I want to get across here, right? People keep talking about, contact. Just because there's contact doesn't mean it's a fucking foul.
Just because you get in doesn't mean to say it's a foul.
It's got to be, and how do I say it? It's got to impact your either gameplay or your flow of the game. But a wee touch on your back isn't going to get you a foul. But you fall down now and it's all ref foul. I'm not going to lie, mate. I done it all my days. I played football because I knew you were going to get free kicks and penalties. People might call it cheating. I couldn't care. I call it getting your team points and winning. So I don't care. But the way football's gone, mate, any wee touch now, players must be getting told to go down because that's all you see now. Stop start by referees.
It doesn't obviously help, mate. You've got certain teams playing for penalties at every fucking turn and corner they can get run. You know what I mean? So it doesn't. I've never, honestly, mate, I've never came across anybody like that. I swear to God, in the whole time I watching, playing, being involved with football, I've never seen it like that in my life. It's embarrassing, totally embarrassing. But see, I've got a theory about referees, right? I think referees are, see the young boys that don't get picked for school football teams.
Become referees.
And they just become angry wee men and just become, if I can't play the game, I'm going to get you another wee year. Referees just
I'll just fuck up your league titles.
Well, that's it. I'll just, I'm going to mess with your heat today.
Aye, mate. Obviously,
but the referees in Scotland are atrocious. They are atrocious, mate. I don't know about rule guidelines and that they need to follow. And I understand that, you know, these guys are not full time and they know this, they know that, but it's the job they're doing isn't good enough.
She's full time.
And they need more help.
I'm like what you say, it would help being full time, like, but being full time doesn't affect your eyesight. Seeing fumbles and free kicks and penalties.
That's what I was going to say to you. So, see if they go full time, does that mean to say their eyes become better? Do they become more vigilant when they're full time? Or Are they only part-time, so they only see what they want to see? Is that what it is? 'Cause that's what it looks like. But also looks like, I know that if you're playing green and white, mate, then a team's got a free rent to just book the living daylights out you 4 or 5 times and take turns a doing it to then only be talking to you, saying, right, don't you do that again. That's how is that a deterrent? But then my comeback to that is we need to toughen up there, I know. Why?
Oh, aye.
Because I know for a fact, mate, I played with teams all my days, right? Still play fives to this. Well, I don't know them, no, but I still play fives to this day. And I know for a fact, see, somebody deliberately came in and booted me, and I knew, right, that was intent there. That wasn't even, oh, sorry, mate, I didn't mean that. I missed time. You can tell the difference between somebody missed timing and catching you to somebody actually physically trying to come in and do you. You wouldn't get a chance of doing it again, mate.
But that's where, like you say, you've played football, mate. That's where your football experience comes in. I'm not saying, I've always said, see if somebody does something in football park, you do it either after the ball or you do it properly through experience. You do it with a way where it's giving somebody, letting them know they're there.
Huh?
It's just, I just don't know what we do, mate. We could talk about the referees all day, how we can help and how poor they are, but we all know, mate, and we may as well go into the decision that it's been spoken about all weekend. There's obviously the one at Dens Park. Might be a Celtic podcast, but I'm highlighting it because these decisions can affect titles, they can affect games, and we all know it was an absolute one of the most embarrassing decisions I've ever seen in my life. I just how the pundits of the game. How the pundits, again, I've got a lot, like I says, these pundits have played at the highest level, McFadden, Boyd, Dorrans, Sutton, Hartson, all you guys who do these games, I don't really like criticising because they've played at the highest level. But see when you're playing at the highest level and you've had all this experience and you can't take your tinted glasses off and you are saying something that's clearly not a penalty, that it's soft or it's debatable or it is. I think it could be. They were actually questioning how it wasn't a red card. Mate, come on, man. I know we're all Celtic fans here, right? And you know what means to win games or get penalties, but there's a penalty and then there's just, I'm not going to say cheating, right? But I'm going to say something maybe close to that. It is fucking ridiculous. How that should have been a free kick, or sorry, a foul for Dundee. But he lost his game. He's more than him. It gets you angry because you've got guys who have played at the game, highest level, radio stations, TV, and they're thinking that's a penalty. They're thinking that is a stonewall penalty. Some of them are saying it's a stonewall penalty, some are saying, it's debatable, it's soft. Like we says in previous pods, when somebody says it's a soft penalty, it's not a fucking penalty. If something's a penalty, right away you go, that's a penalty. Even with Fadden, he's like, I think it's a penalty. You've got a guy's phone in the Super Scoreboard, that's a penalty. I'm like, what football have you played? Like, what game have you watching? It's one of the most, I'm not going to say soft, because it's one of the most embarrassing decisions I've ever seen in my life. I just generally don't know how the referee thought that was a penalty. And see, I don't think I said to you before, but come on. Every other team, it's not, that's what I try to say to you. This isn't a Celtic or Rangers thing, by the way. The Dundee commentator on the Dundee TV says, okay, it's fine, he's missed a penalty, but he'll get a chance in the second half. Everybody's known about it now. Teams know about it. And it seems to be, like I says on Twitter, people can call me mad, they can call me I'm losing the plot, whatever they want. It seems to be when they're either behind in a match or they're struggling to get a win, they get a penalty. It happened with Northern Leeds, your first game against Dundee recently, and it happened in a 1-0 down yesterday. I'm not saying
it's happened then, right?
I'm not going to say it's cheating, mate, but I'm just saying it seems to be happening in a very fucking rare occurrence when there's the league title to be going for.
It's very convenient, and it's not the first time, as you said, it's not the first time it's happened there, mate. When at any time they're backs to the wall and they're not doing too well, or they're they've not been at it, or they've been rotten on the day, and the other teams maybe took the lead. There's a massive decision being given in the games against the other team that changes the aspect of the game. Hibs were 1-0 up at Ibrox. Porteous was sent off. The game changed. They won 2-1. Aberdeen were 2-0 up at Ibrox. There was a penalty given when Rangers were getting beat 2-1. And it was never a penalty in a month or Sunday. My mate, actually, one of my mates who's a Rangers fan, he actually said the first goal that Rangers had scored that night wasn't even a foul that led to the goal. And that was given. So I never saw that. I only seen the penalty that they got. And, it's just... Then there was one, I know, was it Big Shirley? Turns into a WWF wrestler.
Big Shirley
and he drags Big Porteous to the flare. And there's nothing done about that. Big McLaughlin, the goalie, League One John, he comes out his goal twice, takes somebody out again. Should have been sent off and was only yellow carded.
Yep.
You're just like, but I had to laugh yesterday when I heard he stopped my goal scoring opportunity. I says to my dad, what was going to happen? Was Morelos all of a sudden going to turn into a fucking giraffe and leap 8 feet in the air to score?
I know.
The ball was about 48 feet above him. And you're right, he shoves the boy McGee, Jordan McGee, and the boy McGee get booked. He books him, I know. But he's up in the commentary, up in the gantry, giving it. Oh, I used to have been sent off.
That's what frustrates me, mate. Right?
Planet are you on, man?
See guys that have played. Well,
these guys are getting paid a wage to speak this nonsense.
But that's what annoys me. But right, people might slaughter Chris Sutton, right? But Sutton is, I would say, tells the truth. Both sides, either Celtic or shit, Rangers shit. It was a penalty, no penalty, whatever. Hartson can maybe be a bit biased, but Hartson still he speaks the truth, right? But if you guys in the gantry, guys pundits, how can guys who have played at what I would call the top level in Scotland, European football, Champions League, national team, how can you look at something like that and go, that's a penalty? Unless you've got blue tinted specs on. Listen, we've all got green tinted specs on now and again, right? We all don't like to be balanced sometimes, right? But see, especially on this, mate, I try and be balanced as I can, right? I've watched that a penalty about 20 times, right? And I even watched the one of us with a home ball about 5 or 10 times. How the referee didn't give that, I still don't know how he's not gave us a home ball. We all seen it in the stadium, and we all seen it and watched the game yesterday. How's that a penalty? It's not even funny now, mate.
There was one yesterday, I don't know if you've seen it, Ryan, and the boy McGowan, Tavernier's running at full pelt, and the boy McGowan just stands his gun. Tavernier runs into him. McGowan gets booked. It's like that. But
it seems to be every week, like I say, every wee bit of contact.
Aye.
Penalty. Against, was it Dortmund?
I think Bobby Madden's hair was in his eyes, mate.
Well, it was no Dortmund, it was Belgrade for each goal. We obviously, Ryan Kent's leg was dangled. Penalty. What, so because there's contacts, a penalty? He's dangling his leg.
The guy farted on his leg, mate, and he fell.
But
the guy, the big centre half farted on his leg, he fell, and it was a penalty.
That's it, mate. I just can't. We can talk about it all day, mate. But
justice, don't get me wrong. I mean, justice was done yesterday because the king of penalties yesterday, man. I don't know what he was doing yesterday with that penalty, but it nearly hurt my motor. It just missed. my bonnet with that. It took a wee while to get here, right enough. It was about an hour later after he heard it. I seen the ball bouncing by the window.
Mate, it's getting that bad now that everybody's putting Tavernier any time and bets to score.
I know.
That's what bad it's getting.
You know what's even worse, mate? It's the fact that he's changed his name to Tavernier penalty now.
Mate, the worst
he's got a double barreled name now.
Mate, the worst it was only 41 the weekend to score a penalty. Anytime. Oh.
It's just it's beyond comical now. And it's no embarrassing. It's no. I don't know. I really don't know what else to say. I really don't, mate. I'm totally dumbfounded with it. I really am. And as we said, I know, mate. Moving forward, we're probably going to see a good few more honest mistakes between now and the end of the season being made. Probably starting for the 3rd of April. I wouldn't be surprised.
There'll be a contentious one anyway, won't there? But like you say, obviously, mate, moving forward, back to the football, shall we say? Obviously, the game itself, super performance. A lot of good players, a lot of good performances by certain players. Like you said, even Greg Taylor was superb, mate. I thought he'd done really well. He was very comfortable. There's no qualms, mate, at all.
Ryan, is it just me? Touching on Greg Taylor, mate? Is it just me, or is he becoming a lot better on the ball? I think his distribution is getting better.
Like I says, mate, I'll be willing in the next 6 months if he ends up becoming Celtic's left back and flying form and whatever else. I still don't think he will be, but as it stands at the moment, mate, the guy's playing well. I'm not going to take back what I've said about him because it's not just me. He says that a lot of fans have. Like it's with Alston. If he ends up becoming superb, then all you've got to say is sorry. And
I'm surprised he's not contacted us when on the pod to say,
Greg, come on and give your piece.
Craig Bellamy saying, shut up, Ryan, you'll be cutting my grass this summer.
But
Greg, if you want to come on, honest, mate, I'll certainly take the time to sit and have a chat with you.
Greg, I'll just set up, mate. I'm not talking to you because you want to batter me.
Just don't invite Barkas because last time I heard he was on it live, there was a lot of plate smashing in the background. Turns out he never caught one of them.
But obviously going forward, mate. Obviously the next game's at Ibrox International break. Hopefully it doesn't stop momentum, and obviously we come back for that international break with a fully fit, healthy squad. Definitely,
mate. I think going with the way the season's run for us, Ryan, I think that if you look at all the breaks in between the teams have had, we've come back stronger for them. Probably the best one I can say is the winter break. Barring one, I think we've won every game.
Well, we're 31 games on. That's the thing, mate. I know Rangers went unbeaten last year, right? Yeah. Which I take my hat after that, right? But we went 31 games unbeaten, mate, and I've not seen it mentioned anywhere.
Nope.
Anywhere. No papers, no Twitter, or Celtic fans mention it. Nope. No media outlets, no back pages, Celtic 31 unbeaten or whatever. I've not seen that at all.
Neither have I. Just on that, just if Chief Jackson or any of your cronies are watching on or listening to us tonight, Celtic are 31 games unbeaten. Just if he's want to maybe...
I think we should Keane says that Rangers are immune now. They're immune, but they're 3 points behind, but everything's all rosy.
I think the only thing they're immune is COVID. It's about the only thing they've avoided.
Aye. So it says on fucking.
Well, so it says on their medical sheets anyway. Aye. But we're not talking about all the house parties and that did take part in all the behind closed doors drinking games that went on.
That's for the same medical office with Boris Johnson.
Aye, definitely. Aye. You sign up for a year's health plan, man, you get 6 bottles of Grey Goose and 10 bottles of Jack Daniels, and I think it's a big platter between Aftershock, Jägermeister, apple sours.
If you get a PT session off at Blackpool Beach for doing the job.
Cola cubes, aye. And you need to run 20 laps of the Brighton Pier. tied on to Jimmy Bell's BMX hire.
My Rangers.
My Rangers. Aye.
No, but definitely, I mean, I think going forward, it's...
I think people thought he was out with Tinkerbell a couple of weeks ago. It turns out it was Gio that was with him, mate.
Aye, he David Martindale's best pal, Gio.
David Martindale, aye, he has Buller.
But obviously, like you say, that's what hopefully maybe they can come back for that in one piece when the injuries, because obviously we'll do our podcast when the Rangers game came up, but it's a important time of the season now coming up.
Nitty gritty part, mate. Yep, this is a business end, as I call it, Ryan. As I say, mate, we just need to keep this momentum going. There's 7 games to go in the league. Out with the Scottish Cup now for us. Obviously, they've got more games to play as well, because obviously now they've got this Braga tie coming. And fair dues, I mean, obviously, they're obviously, their eggs are in that basket, aren't they, but it looks at because they seem to be grinding the results out in that competition. I said to one of my mates the other night, they became a Livingston in the Europa League. They sort of make it really stuffy for teams, and they've kind of stuck at it. And okay, they're in the quarterfinals, but I still think there's severe quality in front of them if you think they're going to.
Yep.
A lot of their fans, I've heard that they've booked up to, is it Seville? Is the final in Seville?
Don't know where it is, mate. I've been bored about it. I don't even know.
Right. I'm the same. When we drop out of European competitions, I don't lose all interest in it as well. I think it's happened a good time for us as well, Ryan. Dropping out of that as well. I think that was a good thing for us to drop out. Obviously, it wasn't nice. The way we get beat by Bodo, okay. It never is nice when you're defeated. But I think dropping out with this brand, with the new team, the transition we're in now, to try and get used to, I think it's been a big help, mate, to get us focused domestically. And then I think we'll go again. I really do think Ange will get it right in terms of the European side, Ange. I think there's still a lot of big nights and good nights to come to Celtic Park, mate, and be Ange. I think that'll possibly stick in his gums like a sore sweetie, mate, to be honest with you. The way we went out. The way it sort of ended for us. Because if you look at the Europa League, Ryan made 9 points in my group.
Yep.
A certain team only had 8 points. And they still were good enough to qualify. I still think if we had their group, we'd have romped that group, including Leon, with the way our individual performances were in the group stage.
You've got to remember Leon are sitting 10th or something in the French league as well. Leon of old. No,
but again, I think they're in that. Are they in the quarterfinals of the Europa as well? I think they get through, don't they?
I think so. You might be right.
I think they beat Porto, mate. I think they put Porto out the other night. So, and Braga beat Monaco as well. So. Look, fair play, but for me, I look at it, just gives him more games. And we now can concentrate on, we'll be playing Saturday football, whereas they'll be playing Sunday football. So they'll be playing catch up all the time. And performances like their first off yesterday, they're not going to get away with that too many times. No against maybe your Heartseas and your, the other team, I mean, Motherwells, and there'll be other teams that will have a bit better quality than Dundee.
Yeah.
That will then cause trouble, that will cause them problems. Just Dundee, I think, ran its course after 60 minutes and they just sort of ran out of steam. So it was inevitable, obviously, it was going to come.
So the last point I like to make, mate, I don't know, why do these teams, as soon as they go behind, why do these teams, as soon as they go in front, why do they just sit back and defend? It's like they get a shock to the system. Fuck, we're actually winning here. But let's just go back to the game plan. Why do you just not continue? It's the same as if it happens against us. See if Dundee go against us and score the first goal. Why don't you just keep going at Celtic or Rangers or whoever it is? Why do you just go back in defensive mode and just put the full game back onto yourself. I find it crazy why they don't just continue to keep going, because you've scored the goal, you've got momentum. Why go back into your shell? It's eventually a team, the quality of Celtic, Rangers and Scotland, they're going to eventually break you down unless it is they're in for each game, which is a one, a blue moon. But 9 times out of 10, they're going to break you down with a last minute goal or a free kick. They're going to get you with some sort of quality. But why do teams, is it a mentality where it's just, I just don't get beat mentality, and then they get a shot when they start winning, they're like, fuck, what do we do here?
I think that's part of it. I also think the quality aspect comes in as well. I think, but these teams can't just open up and play because they'll just get picked off. Because, like Celtic, they've got a team that you've got a squad there full of internationals with massive amount of experiences who can all play. They're all really comfortable with the ball, even the goalie is. And I think if you try and open up, normally when these teams they get the goal, it's because we have not settled, or we've maybe just not get going. So it's a kind of, I wouldn't say against the run of play, but it's a kind of, and as that sort of adverse effect that you just said, Ryan, with the fuck, we've just scored against you, and then it's like waking up a sleeping bear. So you've just poked the bear and but Celtic they know they're not a sleeping bear, Ryan. They're coming out of traps and they're flying. And they're winning games at half time. A lot of the times, 2-3 up at half time. That's phenomenal, Ryan. See to do that so consistently, mate. And that's not just, what we saw on Saturday isn't just a fluke, mate. We've been doing that all season. The momentum, the tempo, and the tempo's all still there now. Come 85th, 87th minute. The speed, it's all still there. And I just said it before, mate. The team are being coached and trained and conditioned to now start peaking at this point of the season. So it's going to be interesting, mate. I think I'm really chomping at the bit now to see what it's going to be like when Kyogo comes back in, because you've not only just got Kyogo there, you've then got him and Maeda with that speed to then take his own to high press for the front. And I think teams, I mean, if I was a centre-back or a full-back, and I didn't just say for talk's sake I wasn't blessed with a lot of pace, like most centre-backs aren't blessed with pace unless you're a young boy, like, with a ton of speed. Then you'd be looking at your other centre-back going like, here we go, man. You know what I mean? Like, one wrong move here and they're done. You know what I mean? One slack pass back to the goalie. I mean, most goalies now, a lot of the goalies can't play out. Like, a lot of the SPL goalies, they can't play out. Like, Joe Hart, probably the one next to him now is probably the boy Kelly at Motherwell. He was very good with the ball at his feet. Out with that, mate, there's no many goalies in the league that the teams will zip it about and you can see them.
And as much as we don't want to mention them, Al McGregor is still a fantastic goalkeeper, but
his kick-out's horrendous, right?
Distribution is nowhere at all.
Oh, it's horrendous, mate. You've seen that at Parkhead. He's turning into Kloss.
As he's getting older.
He's turning into Kloss with his kick-outs. I mean, I remember Kloss when he was getting to the tail end of his Rangers days, and his kick-outs were bad. They were horrendous. And that night, his kick-outs were shocking. Just panic, merchant stuff, you know what I mean? Just like, we need to get that ball out. And as I say, but that's because of our press. That's because of the pressure they're being put under. And see, even fullbacks, mate, that are used to bombing forward, they're getting penned in. And we all know Tavernier can't defend for Toffee, mate. He couldn't keep Wayne's out of close. He couldn't. It's just to be all and end all, mate. Okay, maybe good going forward and he's got a good delivery. But defending, mate, he's probably the root cause of their problems when they concede goals. See, if you watch their passages of play, a lot of it comes from him either switching off or being too high up the pitch. It all comes down that side because he's a weak link in that team. And for me, he is a weak link in our team. I don't care. He might score 400 penalties a season, but I don't care because that's no telling me, he's superb because a guy can score a penalty.
I know.
Big Boric scored a penalty, mate, but I wouldn't say he's the best player in the world. Do you know what I mean? He scored a penalty in a cup final, Big Boric. So all of a sudden, no. And I don't think he's as good as people make out. I've watched him for years up in Scottish football, and I think he's a bang average player when he's penned in. Jota proved that at Parkhead. Where he was fearing up. He was fearing to get a halfway line at Parkhead because he knew it was going to happen. I think there was one Jota flicked out his seat, had a coffee, phoned a taxi, read the paper, and Tavernier was pulling his jersey.
Put his flip-flops on.
And told his mate to record the River City Omnibus for him while he was doing tricks with the ball. And when that one went there, he said, one of the boys were saying that he was told Paul Daniels would have been proud of him for the tricks he pulled off. You know what I mean? But no, as I say, but that comes from the quality that we've got now. That comes from where we are. Abada forced Barisic back, I know. I think the speed that Abada was playing at that night, I think the G-force sprinting by Big Barisic gave Barisic a nosebleed. I'm actually trying to defend Barisic, mate. I really don't know why he sat down in the middle of the pitch when the Bada's run in to score that goal. I just can't fathom it.
He heard that song, Call on Me, he's like, squatting.
Eric Pritz, Call on Me.
He's like, oh, it is.
Aye. I don't even know if he was trying to audition to go on the next lot of Joe Wicks' exercise videos for the morning telly. I don't know what he was doing, mate. Or he just, I don't know, mate. I really can't follow him out what he was doing. If I was one of his teammates, mate, I would have went mental. I think I would have throttled him. Like, what are you doing? Because Goldson, for Hatate's cross, Goldson just stuns you, ball watching. And then he just sits down. What are you doing? Like, don't try and tackle Abada or don't try and get involved and don't. Just take a seat, mate. You know what I mean? Just sit down.
Take a seat with the paper, get your flip-flops.
You just take a seat and be comfortable, son, right? We've seen nothing done there because you absolute melt. You know what I mean? And as I say, I mean, like, that night, if we go there in the third round and we get an early goal, the psychological effect it will have on them is going to be detrimental, mate, because that'll just cast their memory back to Parkhead that night. And it'll also silence that stadium.
Big time, mate.
You'll never hear a Big Coos be quieter, I don't think, ever. In terms of when they're watch their team, they're all pumped. They think, oh, here we go, we got to do remedy. Go level points for them again. And Celtic get an early goal and just start to take the game away from them. I could picture that happening, you know that? I could picture them thinking that, you know, this is going to be a cakewalk today. And a lot of them do. And I say to one of them all day, if you had a brain meltdown, if you just totally just forgot what happened at Celtic Park,
I think they'll be very, obviously they thought that we're a new team, and at that point I think we were behind at that point, you know. Of course we were behind anyway, I think, at that point. I think now, mate, I think with that performance, I seen in the Herald today as well, supposedly Celtic are going to take 700 tickets. Don't know if that's true, if it's not come out yet, but I seen that in the Herald today. I don't know if it's true. But
700?
I seen that. It's not been confirmed to me, but I seen it on the Herald, the Twitter's Herald, that there was rumours that Celtic are going to come out a few days of. There's no notion yet they're going to say not it, but I think Rangers have offered them 700 tickets, right? Well, we all know my status on it, get that to fuck. Either it's fans or no fans. But I think that they're going to be a bit more. I generally believe some of the fans are shitting themselves, mate. I generally believe that. We're beating teams with ease and they're struggling. Granted, they're still winning games, but you can only struggle for so long before something pulls up. And we always say you can play well for so long, but then you pull up. You might pull up with a result, but then you go again. But when you're not playing well and you get beat, it's very, very hard to get back and win games. Like you've seen me teams, and I'm no comparing this to Rangers, or even Celtic. But you've got teams who are down south getting beat every week, can't get out of the relegation zone. It's the same when you're getting the results. You'll get the results, but if you're not playing well, eventually you're going to start dropping points, because if you can't keep playing no well and expect to win games.
Definitely no, mate. See if we go there and we win. That is unthinkable right now for them, right?
Aye.
But see if we go there and reality sets in and we end up winning that game, mate, the season's finished. It's over. The party is over, because they will not beat us at Celtic Parkline.
I do believe, mate, right? Again, you know what tempt fate, but if we go to Ibrox and we go 6 points clear and then you beat them in the semi-final, I genuinely believe to be shattered, mate. Shattered.
Aye.
Shattered.
I agree with you, mate. I totally agree with you. Because the two games, they've got a game on the Thursday night before it.
Aye.
So they've got a game, they play Braga on the Thursday, then we play them on the Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So we play, obviously they don't play this week because Scotland are playing on Thursday night. So they play Braga a week on Thursday. And then it's a week on Sunday we play them. And they're in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
So just say for talking sake, right, the last away game there in Europe, they get beat. They get beat 2-1 on the night, right? So just say they get beat. And they've got that game on Sunday. We're going to have all week
fresh
to prepare for that, mate. And the nucleus of the team, like say Jota, Carter Vickers, Joe Hart, Kyogo, Turnbull, none of them are going to be away with internationals, Ryan. So they're going to be fresh. Maeda's no gone. O'Reilly's away with the 21s. Denmark. Hatate's away with Japan. But even at that, Ryan, they'll still be relatively fit. Mm-hmm. And they'll be back in time. So I just don't know. Like you see McGregor, right? Scotland are playing Poland on Thursday, right? It's a friendly. Why not play Lewis Ferguson?
Exactly, I know.
And Ryan Jack and play other guys who.
Why? That's a game for Anthony Dawson to play. Why is he not getting called up? Well, we all know why he's not getting called up.
I've gave my thoughts on that one, right? And I've obviously. When the boy Patterson, Ryan.
He's played 45 minutes since January.
Ryan, he's the only work from home footballer I've ever heard of. Apart from Aaron Ramsey. Serious, swear to God. They're football players, but they work for him. Because they don't play much.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, Ramsey's only interested when he plays in a red jersey. He'll go with Wales now.
By the way, he looked well off it yesterday.
You need to see the goal he scored. He nearly missed it.
He was well off it yesterday.
He actually nearly missed the goal he scored.
He might be a top class player, but he's no fit.
Miles away. Nobody's got to be like, right, remember the 5-1? I'm not saying that's got to be the score. Remember the 5-1 game at Parkhead, Brendan's first game?
Aye.
And they played Crancher.
Oh, blown at his ass.
That's what it's got to be like if they play him. you picture him running, trying to chase McGregor, Hatate, like, he'd be like, oh, I don't know, man. Again, Big Trancha was the same. He was kicking everything by the ball.
He's like, pizza, pasta, what's happening here? I've got me back to Juve.
His legs are made of tagliatelle.
He's fucking spouting tomato sauce at his ass.
I know.
Oh, man.
He's on that medical plan. He gets spaghetti and meatballs for every meal. But, no, as I say, mate, the game at Ibrox will take care of itself when it comes. But see with Kyogo being fit now, if he's ready for that game, their bottle is going to crash. They know what's coming. Deep down, a lot of them, I mean a lot of them, not the ones that are deluded, you hear them just spouting sheer nonsense.
Proper fans.
Proper fans, guys that have been about the game and know the game. They know it's going to be tough. They know it's going to be hard. A lot of their other fans think that can't see that can't see anything but the blue. They think they actually think they're going to beat us by about 4. I seen a comment the other day on Facebook, and it was yesterday. See, in 2 weeks. Be prepared to bring your hankies, because we're going to take 4 off you. And not that way. Normally, I would just scroll by that. And the missus is going like, what is it you're laughing at? And I'm saying, you honestly can't believe here what I'm reading. Like, the tears are running down my face.
But that's what I'm saying, mate. There's football fans, and then there's just fans that just turn up to games. That's what I mean, mate. But listen, it happens in all just Rangers. It happens in all ends of football. All Celtic fans, Aberdeen, Hibs. There's a section of fans that just turn up and they just everything's Celtic. They don't actually the full logistics of the game. They can't be realism about the game. Like, we all know, I'm expecting us to go to Ibrox and win, but you know it's going to be a hard game. You're not going to expect to win 4 or 5. If you do, fucking brilliant. But you'll take a fucking 1-0 win. Do you know what I mean? As long as you win the game of football, that's all you want.
Obviously, you want to win, right? But I would even say a draw's. I would even say a draw's no good to them, man.
Oh, mate, a draw suits us.
A draw suits us, I know, but it's no good to them.
No.
No good to them, man, because they're still running 3 points behind.
Well, it's really
by the way,
it's really form.
I checked it today, right? I checked it today. I did ask yesterday, but obviously I don't know if they actually seen the comment, because there was that much content happening on the chat. But 4 of their games out of 5 are away from home on the split.
Have we not got 5 out of the next 7 games at home or something?
The only games we'll go home,
JP, it's a supercomputer, but it picks all the games, but
no
supercomputer, man.
I know, and I think it was that one at Deck operate off in Saturday Night Takeaway Live. I think they hit that big red button in the day of the draw, but because it certainly wasn't Greg Hempel that done the draw that one. But no, the only 2 games we've got away are at Ibrox and Tannadice. The rest are at Celtic Park. So you don't win a game at Ibrox. If that mob don't win a game at Ibrox, your back's to the wall end, mate. You know what I mean? Especially if Celtic win, go 6 points ahead. And then that's a big momentum. But the momentum there goes into the semi-final. Because then, here we go. But just say if I talk to Celtic when I win comfortably again, 2-3-0 the way they did at Parkhead, right? I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying, in layman's terms, and the psychological effect that's going to have on the semi-final, because then their players are going to be like, here, hold on a minute. You know? And I don't get me wrong, I would love us to lay down a marker and actually put that one right. But because I think we owe them it, right? I really do. I watched his last season against them and he took 4 off as at Ibrox, mate, and I was really spewing. They beat us I think it was 4-1 he beat us.
Mate,
Big Edward scored
but
their
I
goal.
know-
We went
I-
down to 10 men.
I know I'm going to be maybe biased here, mate, but see, apart from maybe the first game, they beat, I think, 2-0, he beat us the first game. I generally don't believe they actually played us after the park. There were close games and we missed sitters. Edward missed
Aye.
sitters, Christie missed sitters. There's a big difference between that game that we won 3-0, mate. That was a total that was an annihilation, mate. That wasn't just a victory. That was a total overwhelming game that I just don't know what else I can say. It was overwhelming. I didn't expect the game because I actually had a bet on 3-0 because I thought just for the 60,000. It's going to be obviously different going to Ibrox. They're going to have their crowd. But I think for what I've seen for your team, and their atmosphere is nowhere near as intimidating as Celtic Park is. Don't care what anybody says. I believe that you've got no hassle of coping with that at all.
Me either, mate. I said it the other day as well. I don't think we'll be intimidated one iota with this atmosphere. I'm really surprised to hear that. I've not even seen anything about it, but I'm really surprised to hear that any of our fans are silly enough to take tickets for that. Because I certainly wouldn't be able to be going there to provide them with funds and also provide them with an opportunity to lump all sorts of nonsense at you.
Pies and all that and shit, abuse.
You're going to get hit with all sorts, and you need me personally, you'd need to be off your nut. I know people say, "Oh, it's shut up, it's a derby, it's this and it's a fair dues," but
health and safety and all, mate.
Well, there's an element of safety there. I know you be prepared to, if you've got a ticket for that game and you're one of the lucky ones, be prepared to wear a lot of all plays. Don't go there in Prada gear or dripped out because you're ready to go on a day out because you're going to look messy when you leave that stadium. But then who knows, mate? By the way the sport goes, it could use might be the ones that are in the stadium and they're not.
No.
You know, they could start turning up the seats again. Who knows? As I say, they've done that a few times. They've all dressed up as chairs the last couple through the past season. So, aye, definitely. It'll be interesting to see this one as well. I just want to see if Kenny Miller's actually landed this time. If he's come done, because I don't think I've seen him ever again. Big Jozo sent him into orbit, man. I've not seen him since.
One of the best tackles ever, man.
Oh, it was one of the best launches for the Apollo 13, mate. Never seen it like that in my life.
No, but I'm agreeing with you, mate. Definitely. It's going to be interesting. Obviously, now it's the next game, so you can kind of talk more about it. But I think we've got momentum now. Obviously, that momentum, the thing with the last goal is going to give him a bit of a boost into the game. But I just hope it does sort of momentum, the international break. But I'm like you, mate. I think we'll cope with everything. Again, we'll talk about it more going up to the game. But as it stands at the moment, mate, I think we're very comfortable. We don't fear anybody. It's all positive going forward. But again, mate, thanks for your time. Hail, and I'll see you next one, mate. Cheers.
Hail, Ryan. Cheers, mate. Thank you.